We're back with Bianca Welds for part 2, where she'll share stories of her career path and things that she did upon graduation. Bianca, what year did you graduate St. Andrew High?
Well, I left the form in 1992, stayed on and did sixth form, so I eventually left in 1994.
Do you remember some of the teachers in, school, A-levels? I mean,
Oh, goodness.
subjects you probably did.
Well, at A-levels I did math, chemistry, and bio. My math teacher was Miss Rito. My biology teacher, I believe, was Mrs. Smith. I have no idea who taught me chemistry.
Yeah, they kind of moved around for chemistry.
Well, I do know in lower six we had a young teacher, fresh out of university, because I remember that was the first time I actually ended up going to extra lessons at Campion. So that's all I do remember. I don't remember who taught us in upper six. Yeah.
Okay. What was it like to be taught by Miss Reader math in A-levels, at A-levels?
Well, I sit here as one of her disappointments since I got a B and not an A, which she thought I was supposed to. So if nothing else, she was very, very committed to making sure her students did well. She was a bit strict, and I'll admit my class did give her quite a bit of trouble. There were a bunch of us that would often sit at the back of the class, and rather than sitting in one little knot, we sat all along the back row and would then pass messages and whisper conversations, and this would drive her absolutely crazy when she was at the blackboard. Usually because it would stop once she turned around, and I suspect she maybe felt we were trying to drive her crazy.
Well, for the current students who may not necessarily know what these passing of messages, what's that like?
Yeah, this was pre-cell phone.
Pre-Twitter and Facebook.
Pre all of those devices. We would literally write notes. Sometimes you'd write a note in your exercise book and pass it down the line, or you might even just be signaling your friend, or mouthing words.
Did they ever get intercepted?
No, not intercepted, but she did walk out on us once, because again, every time she turned around, the whispering would stop, and she decided, since we weren't paying attention to what she was teaching, she was going to leave. So she stormed out and said she wasn't going to come back until we apologized, until we admitted who was chatting and actually apologized publicly. So that was not very nice of us.
Bianca, not many people actually see Miss Reader as a mathematician. Did you ever have that experience where she was able to calculate things quicker than you were able to punch in
she was
with
a
your
math
calculator?
Genius.
Right.
She was really, I don't know, I loved math actually. It was what I thought I was going to study when I went to university. So she sold me on the value of it.
Yeah, not many people would have seen that side, to her. Is there anything else you'd like to say that planted the seed for you to pursue your degree in computer science?
Well, the truth is, I did actually do computer studies at the GCE O level. So I did have some passing interest in technology. I'll admit I kind of did to get out of doing geography though. So it wasn't a passion. I actually, as I said, I went to UWI thinking I was going to study mathematics. My big plan was I was going to do math and become an actuarial scientist. And after first year math, I kind of hated it. So I had taken computer science in my first year, and I decided to just go with it. And that's how I ended up with a computer science major. But yeah, so it was a bit of an accident, but I don't regret it. It's been an interesting journey up to now.
I see where you're a steel panist. Tell us how that came about.
Another serendipitous accident. When I started at UWI, I actually started a year behind most of my friends because I took a year after sixth form and went to Belgium on the AFS Intercultural Exchange Program.
What region of Belgium?
I was in the French side of Belgium. So I came back fluent in French, but a year behind my friends. And there was another girl who had also gone on AFS. She had been in Colombia. And we started UWI at the same time. And we sort of struck a deal that she would join dance society with me, and I would join the steel band with her, because she was half Trinidadian and she really wanted to learn to play pan. So we did that. I dropped out of dance by my second semester because I injured my knee. She dropped out of pan by her second semester because she had problems with her wrist. And 16 years later, I was still playing with the US band. I only left them about a year and a half ago, but I still play pan.
Did you do any pieces? Do you have original music that you've written?
I have not yet started composing my own music. I do arrangements of other pieces, which I've done a few. My biggest accomplishment would probably be I think it was maybe one of the first pieces I actually took to the band, which was a small side piece. It was a quartet, a classical quartet. And we ended up taking it to the World Steel Band Festival in Trinidad, where we placed almost second. We missed second place by 2 points.
Okay.
So we refuse to say we placed third, because we think the tuning of our pans cost us points and we would have come second.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so I've started arranging music, and I've done several more pieces since then, of varying kinds.
Okay. Well, do you encourage persons to learn? I mean, what's the interest for playing steel pan?
Besides the fact that it is a wholly Caribbean instrument, which has its own appeal, as instruments go, percussion for me is one of the more natural instruments to play, in that even as children, most people, you take 2 pens and you beat on the desk, you know, you use your hands and you clap out a rhythm. So percussion is usually very intuitive. Steel pan taps into that, even though it's a pitched percussion, so you actually have notes like, you know, other instruments. It's still very percussive, and it allows you to sort of feel, you still get to feel the rhythms like with other drums and so on, but you're just able to do it melodically. So to me, it's pretty interesting.
Do you speak other languages than English?
I came back from Belgium speaking fluent French. I speak some basic Spanish. I started learning American Sign Language once, which I didn't get very far with. And I'm in the middle of learning Italian because I'm leaving Jamaica in 2 days for a 6-month trip to Italy. So I'm adding Italian to my language.
So Bianca, you're going off to Italy. How did that opportunity come about?
Well, I'm very active on Twitter, and I follow a wide range of accounts, and a lot of them are technology related. Many of them are related to startups. And I spotted a tweet one day that sort of said, you know, how would you like to build a business in the Italian Alps? And I said, well, that's interesting. So I clicked through, as I read a lot of things online, and that was pretty much it. It was, you were being given an opportunity to live in Italy for 6 months and build a business. And I kept it open for a couple of days before deciding to apply. And I had to submit an application that was more about me. They wanted to know about my experience, my background, projects I'd worked on in the past, what were my hobbies, what were some of the things on my bucket list, because they were billing themselves as a people accelerator, so they really wanted to make sure they had the right kinds of people who could think creatively and be innovative. And I had to submit a video portion of the application, just 2 or 3 minutes, sort of explaining why I wanted to be a part of the program and what aspects of technology particularly interested me and so on. And of the over 600 people that applied, they selected 72, of which I was one.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And I was also one of only about 10 women as part of the program.
And the only Jamaican?
And the only Jamaican,
only
person from the Caribbean.
Wow!
Which I think is more a reflection of the fact I don't think very many people from the Caribbean applied. I don't think they knew about it, and I don't think they actually applied. Um, so definitely one of the things that I've been telling everybody since I was selected is keep your eyes and ears open. There are lots of opportunities out there. I've been sharing the website where I discovered this particular opportunity. I've been sharing it with the local technology community.
Called
Just because I think
what's the name of it?
F6S.com. For anybody interested in technology and startups, they have a listing of incubator programs, accelerators, competitions, trainings, many of them with, you know, sort of a scholarship bent to it. So some of them, they pay some of your expenses, if not all. As I said, competition, so you can win prizes, money, you know.
And you also participate in the local IT community. Care to share the name?
I do. I've not been the most active of participants, but I've attended several of the Kingston Beta events. I'm a big supporter of what they've been doing. That was where I chose to make the official announcement of my selection for this program in Italy. I did that at the last Kingston Beta at the end of April. Largely because I wanted to help get that message out that there are opportunities. We can create some for ourselves, but there are also opportunities that we can take advantage of without necessarily waiting for the support to come from the higher ups, the government and the private sector and so on. There are opportunities that we can take advantage of to better ourselves, to better our community. I'm planning to come back. I'll be sharing a lot of what I learned with Kingston Beta and you know, the rest of the technology community in Jamaica as well.
And I see that you have an active blog, so I'm sure we'll be able to, you know, check it out. How do we find the blog?
Well, if you search for me in Google, you will actually find biancawells.com, which is where I've been putting all of my posts. So there's a nice link that says blog that will take you right to it. And I've been trying to keep people updated on everything that's happening as I start to get ready to leave for Italy. I leave in 2 days. So I'm deep in packing mode now. And I plan to update it pretty frequently once I'm there on both the official program in terms of the training I'm getting, the business I'm working on, the team that I've formed, but also just Italy. It's Italy. So I plan to share, I mean, what travel I'm able to do. I plan to make sure I'm sharing some of that, lots of pictures. I already have requests for information about, you know, people want to see all about the food that I'm eating, the wine that I'm drinking, the men that I'm meeting. So I'll be sharing a lot of the Italian experience with people that read my blog.
Any tips you'd like to leave for the current students at St. Andrew High, the ones who have just graduated from 5th form or 6th form? They refer to it as grades 11 and 13 any tips you'd like to share with these young ladies?
My biggest tip would be figure out the things that you're really interested in and follow them where they lead. I can't promise you, I don't think anybody can promise you that you will be able to make money doing them when you start. The truth is that's kind of starting to go for anything that you study. You may not be able to, you know, get a job when you start out. You may have to look at starting a business. But the best advice I can give you is figure out the things that you're really interested in and follow them where they lead.
Well, thank you, Bianca, for sitting with us for parts 1 and 2. We're going to go right into the third segment, which is a fun segment, and you're going to be interviewed by Destiny. Thank you.